This morning we're going to work on comprehension so that you guys can understand it a little better. And by the end of the 20-minute lesson, I'm hoping that you guys can draw a picture on the whiteboard of what we just read about, okay? So, we're going to go ahead and, do you remember what comprehension is? So, that's okay. So when you're reading something and you understand it, and you can relate to it, that's comprehension, okay? Like those tests you guys just took, you're like, I don't get what I'm reading, okay? If you understood it and could remember it, that would mean that you're comprehending it, okay? So last time we talked about something called activating prior knowledge. Do you remember activating prior knowledge? It's okay. It's been a few weeks. It's been a while. So, nope, okay. I forgot what the next, so activating prior knowledge is when you look at the title or pictures and you're like, okay, how do I know, what do I know about this? You know, so if we read about Snoop Dogg last time, you know, and last time you were like, okay, yeah, we know his music, we've seen him on TV, this and that. So, do you remember when you can use activating knowledge? So basically you can do that anytime you read any article, okay? So, then, should I not be in here?
No.
Oh, they're doing the test in the other room this time.
Oh, okay.
That's okay. So that's, and you would do it basically so you guys, you know, when you read a science book, oh, okay, we're gonna be looking at cells. What do I know about cells? Our bodies are made of cells, or, you know, and then that hopefully will help you remember. So, but today we're gonna talk about visualizing, okay? So, do you guys have any idea what visualizing is when you read?
Visualizing what's gonna happen or what's happening.
Okay, that's
Kind of
good.
picture it in your head.
Yes, exactly. When you visualize your story, you picture it in your head. You create an image, okay? You can sometimes do the characters, you know, what might the character look like? What does the setting look like? If they're talking about a house, do you imagine your house? Do you imagine somebody else's house? If they're talking about a wedding, you know, oh, I've been to a wedding before, it was so fun. And you can put yourself in that, all right? We're gonna watch a video real quick on visualizing. So hopefully it will help you understand.
We're going to have to use our imaginations today. In the books we read, the author gives us descriptions of people, places, things, events, smells, sounds, tastes, touches. And it's our job as the reader to use our imagination to make meaning of the descriptions, to make sense of them. Visualizing is using the words on the page and painting a picture with them in our minds. Often these are visual, but they can also contain connections to the other senses and even to emotions. We can practice visualizing by making a literal drawing. Let me read a passage from C.S. Lewis's The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Have you guys ever heard of that?
This is a description of
It's
one
a
of the
book and
characters,
a movie.
Mr. Tumnus.
Really
As
good.
I read, I will draw what I imagine Mr. Tumnus to look like from the descriptions in the book. I'm not a very skilled drawer, but it doesn't matter. I'm focusing on the skills of visualizing what I'm reading, not my drawing ability. Soon after that, a very strange person stepped out from among the trees into the light of the lamppost. He was only a little taller than Lucy himself, and he carried over his head an umbrella, white with snow. From the waist upwards he was like a man, but his legs were shaped like a goat's. The hair on them was glossy black, and instead of feet he had goat's hooves. He also had a tail, but Lucy did not notice this at first because it was neatly caught up over the arm that he held the umbrella so as to keep it from trailing in the snow. He had a red woolen muffler around his neck, and his skin was rather reddish too. He had a strange but pleasant little face with a short pointed beard and curly hair, and out of the hair there stuck 2 horns, one on each side of his forehead. One of his hands, as I have said, held an umbrella. In the other arm he carried several brown paper parcels. What with the parcels of the snow looked just as if he had been doing his Christmas shopping. He was a faun. And there we have it. I've just turned words on the page into.
So can you visualize, like, do you see how as he was reading, he was drawing the image, the umbrella with the snow, the tail draped over,
To a picture. I've used my imagination to picture what Mr. Tongues looks like. The image in my mind is far more detailed than I've been able to put on the page, but that doesn't matter. I've practiced imagining what the book is telling me.
that's another drawing that
To
an artist
conclude,
did.
visualizing is making a mental picture of what we are reading. If we're able to make detailed pictures in our minds, we will be better able to understand what we are reading. If we practice visualizing, we will improve our reading comprehension.
Okay, and that's that word we just talked about, the reading comprehension. We'll remember it better, right? Okay. So, when, just out of curiosity, do you remember what he said you could use for visualizing? There was 5, we have 5 something that we could use. Our hearing, our taste, our smell, our sight, the 5 senses. Yeah, so you can use your 5 senses when you're visualizing. Like you can smell the cake baking, or you can feel the cold of the snow that he was walking through. So we're going to take a few minutes, just a few minutes real quick in your journals if you can go to an open page. For you. And I just want you to take 2 or 3 minutes to write down to yourself, what is visualizing? It's a mental picture. It doesn't have to be complete sentences. It doesn't have to be spelled correctly, so don't worry about this. This is what you guys are thinking. How would I visualize something? Would I imagine it in black and white? Would I stop and maybe draw it? When would I use visualization? Would I use it with any specific classes or when I'm reading at home? And lastly, why would I visualize? And if you have any additional thoughts on visualization, go ahead and jot them down. This is so you write your name on the front of the book or on the inside. I'm going to collect them and then we'll use it it for the next few times we come out. So if you wanna write your name in the journal. Okay, you okay? Okay, this is so if you wanna write your name on the inside of the book or on the front cover, when we're done with all of the, lessons, you guys can take these home. I'm gonna collect them today. You could do what you would like with them. So, we are going to read a story today. This doesn't work. Go this way. Okay, we're gonna read the story about dolphins on duty. The US Navy trains these super smart animals to work on life-saving missions, okay? I got you the articles there. We're gonna take turns reading. Are you guys okay with that? You're okay with that? So I will go ahead and I'll start. And if you're not sure what a word is, let me know. And it's gonna be on the board if you'd rather follow up here, so. In April, a fishing boat was bobbing along in the Arctic Ocean. As it sailed near the coast of Norway, a country in Europe, a fisherman on the boat spotted a beluga whale. The whale was wearing clips that hold a camera. Why would a whale need a camera? Could the animal be a spy? Do you mind? Turn
You wanna read it? The answer just might be yes. The whale also had clips on its harness with words St. Petersburg. That's,
You okay?
yeah, that's the name of the city in Russia. Officials say this means the whale was likely trained by the Russian military as a spy.
Somehow I missed some pages here. Okay, you wanna read the next? This may sound fishy. That's kind of crazy to think about, isn't it? That they're using sea animals. Okay. Okay. The best of the best. The Navy program started in 1959. In the early years, the Navy tested out more than a dozen animals, including sharks, sea turtles, and birds. Today, just 2 species are used: bottlenose dolphins, and California sea lions.
The Navy's dolphins and sea lions perform missions that the Navy cannot yet accomplish in any other way, says Mark
Sitco, actually.
He's the director of the program. Both animals are very smart and easy to train, and both can quickly adapt to different environments like shallow waters or deep seas.
What does adapt mean? Do you know what adapt means? Adapt means that when there are changes, you can quickly, that's not the right word I'm looking for. You can adjust to the new conditions. For us, when the seasons change, we adapt by wearing different clothes. So, okay, go ahead.
But there are more dolphins in Florida than they use echolocation, that means they use sound to see underwater.
That's right. Here's kind of echolocation. They use the sonar to find where animals and things are, and then it bounces back. So, let's see that. Okay. On the job, dolphins began training at Naval Base Point Loma in San Diego, California. When their a few years old. Handlers show them how to look for and mark locations of underwater explosives called mines. Mines could hurt or kill people in the military, on military ships, and they can be difficult for humans to detect. You guys, do you know what detect means?
Yeah,
Kind of defined.
But it's no problem for dolphins using echolocation.
Good.
The animals can easily see through dark, muddy waters. Plus, they can dive hundreds of feet below the surface, much further than humans can. Trainers also teach dolphins to identify enemy swimmers.
The animals are natural hunters saying
Sitco.
that the rangers change what they run to hunt for.
So instead of hunting for other fish, they hunt for the enemy. So, one more. Maybe. Okay, reporting for duty. In the past 40 years, Navy trained animals have traveled to the coasts of more than a dozen countries on official missions. When they aren't on a mission, the dolphins help with security at Navy bases around the world and prepare for future jobs. They will be ready if they are needed, says Sitco. Navy dolphins and sea lions are always on duty. So what do you guys think of this? Is this something new to you guys? Yeah? Before I read this, I didn't realize that they had used them for missions and stuff like that. So what I want you guys to do is we are going to turn this off, and I have some colors here, and you guys can choose your colors. And I want you guys to think about what we just read, okay? What was the point of, what did we just read about? What do the animals that we read about do, okay? So I just want you guys to kind of have some fun, come up to the board, grab some of these, and just draw what you think was important from the story, okay? So go ahead, and it does not have to be perfect. So, I can't either, so like, this would probably be my dolphin, which is really bad. It looks more like a whale. So,
I don't even know if to draw.
what you could draw about what their jobs were. You could draw about who uses them. You could write about where or when.
I don't know even know to draw. I don't know how to draw.
Just try your best. You got the echolocation going. There you go. There you go. What are they looking for?
I just don't know how to draw.
Well, what would you draw? Or what do you imagine in your head?
People train animals that do missions.
Okay.
Don't know how to draw.
So you could draw a person with a dolphin or fish. There you go.
That's
Draw a
easy to
person
draw.
with a fish. go. What did they find, Liberty? What is your ball, what are they finding?
The, safety numbers.
Okay. Finding the bombs and the other people, their food. That's good. Yay. You're okay. There's your fish. So when do you guys think you could use this visualizing? We kind of talked about it real quick, but do you guys think you could use it during our book speak? You know, you guys know what a school looks like, right?
I gotta draw it.
Yeah, well, in your mind though, you know what, she talks about the bus, you can visualize the school bus. You can kind of visualize the janitor's closet, right? Or like think about your closet at home, so, thanks guys, good job.